Hello and welcome to Folio 2.0. I'm Rob Nicholson. Today my special guest is attorney Felicia Walker, the board chair for Guardian Ad Litem Foundation here in Jacksonville. Welcome, Felicia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I wonder if you could first of all give us an idea of what Guardian Ad Litem is.
So a guardian ad litem in the state of Florida is an advocate that's a volunteer in the court system for children who have been removed from their homes for abuse, abandonment, or neglect that are going through that system to where the court's goal is to either resolve the problems that the parents or caregivers had in the first place that caused removal, or to, which is called reunification. And the parents have about a year to get their act together, whether it was from drugs, they have rehabilitation, or, criminal matters, whatever the case may be, sometimes medical neglect, and that needs to be addressed, or placement with a permanent home through adoption or guardianship. So we, guardian ad litems, are volunteers from the community, no legal experience required or any knowledge of the court system, really, because we provide training for them to help do that, is actually an advocate for the child and the voice of the child in the system, because as we know, sometimes the system doesn't work, and that volunteer in the community where that child lives goes and investigates, helps gather information, observes the child and the family, and makes sure that the child is getting everything that they need.
Gotcha. Now, and you said the court appoints the guardian ad litem.
So there's a statewide system. It's called the Guardian Ad Litem program that every circuit within Florida has appointed to each circuit. So for us, it's the 4th Circuit, which is Clay, Nassau, and Duval counties. And then we as the foundation, the Guardian Ad Litem Foundation of Florida's First Coast, because there's a lot of foundations throughout Florida, supports that system to raise awareness. So you have the court side of it that appoints the Guardian Ad Litem program, and then the Guardian Ad Litem program recruits volunteers, trains them for that. And then the foundation helps support their efforts to raise awareness for the Guardian Ad Litem program, to provide money, funds for the children, for the recruitment of those volunteers, for the training of the volunteers, that type of thing. So we work in conjunction with the state program. So the court does appoint the Guardian Ad Litem program, who then chooses a Guardian Ad Litem volunteer.
And then they choose. Okay,
right.
That makes sense.
Right.
The money behind this can be overwhelming to some people, just because of it's not just the fees for the guardian, it's I think you had used the word normalcy.
Right. So normalcy is a word that we use in this system because when these children, they're removed from their homes from no fault of their own. These aren't juvenile, dependency type of situations where kids have done something bad. They're living in what should be an innocent childhood, and then the people who are supposed to love them have harmed them or neglected them in some ways, and sometimes just pure abandonment. And the state does, a good job at providing funds to foster care families or caregivers, like a family member that stepped in. But of course, raising children is expensive, and the state things that they pay don't always cover everything. So the foundation raises funds to be able to provide those things that make these children's childhood normal. So shoes, backpacks, school supplies, sometimes summer camps and things that children, these families don't have the extra money to be able to do. Sometimes extracurricular activities, which may seem frivolous to some and super important to others, are the only constant thing in some of these children's lives. So we try to do everything we can to keep these children's lives, hopefully improve them from what they were, of course, but to keep them as normal, to where they're not ridiculed in school because they have, bad clothing or, not the right shoes. And these things are really important for social status, and they already have a stigma, being a foster child or, a parent in jail, that type of thing. So we do a lot of things to do that, to make that childhood as normal as possible while they're in the system.
This is a difference between a guardian versus an attorney.
Right. So as an attorney, I have a job to do, right? And you have a side to present. And, I always say there's 2 sides of the story and then the truth somewhere in between. And I feel like the guardian ad litems are the truth in between almost, where, the parents are represented by attorneys. the foster care or foster parents, which are fantastic sometimes, and sometimes there's issues there. They can have attorneys. Everybody has an attorney, and even the child has a technical attorney through the Guardian Ad Litem program, because they also have wonderful attorneys on staff that advocate for the child. But when you have a guardian ad litem that's a volunteer, they come in and really it's beautiful to have, they establish relationships. Like I was a guardian ad litem in the past, and I had one of the little girls tell me that I was her special person, because some of these children have never had anybody that has taken an interest in them or loved them or encouraged them. And you talk to people now, sometimes when we're out and about for awareness events, that were in the Guardian Ad Litem program that are adults and have children of their own that still are in contact with the Guardian Ad Litem as a child, because it's such a meaningful connection. And it's really to be the voice of the child, because your only interest is that child and what is in your opinion the best for them. And the Guardian Ad Litem has access, just like a parent would, to medical records, to educational records. You can go interview parents, family members, and basically the function is to, if there's a gap in the system to where a child isn't getting treatment that they need, you prepare a report. And a lot of people don't like the part because it's written, but there's training. It's a no cost to the volunteer to be able to teach you how to do that. And basically it's just putting your thoughts on paper and then giving a report to the court. And especially in Duval County and St. Johns County, the judges really value the Guardian Ad Litem's report. Their dog in the fight is a child, and that's what we're all here to do, is to protect the child. And I think that with attorneys, sometimes you're having to protect your client's interest and promote that. We're required to be zealous advocates, right? And so Guardian Ad Litem in the program really is to focus on the child and be a zealous advocate for the child.
So by utilizing a Guardian Ad Litem, it creates objectivity in the situation?
Well, when someone is volunteering to help a stranger, essentially a child, they don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. They're not employed by the court system. They're not employed by the Guardian Ad Litem program. Their whole goal is to express what the child's best interests are. And that's pretty objective. And to give that clear, unadulterated opinion for that. Sometimes Guardian Ad Litems being involved have literally saved children's lives, literally, by finding out information that the case, advocate managers, they do a great job. They have a lot of kids that they have to see. And so when a Guardian Ad Litem's involved, sometimes they find out information and the child has an even closer relationship with them that really helps with that.
And children with guardians tend to do better in the court system, don't they?
They do. I don't remember the statistics right off the top of my head, but they do better there and in life in the future, and it keeps their children from being in the system as well.
Felicia, tell me how people outside of the program can help the program.
So there's time, talent, and money. The first thing would be to be a volunteer. We have free volunteer information sessions that are online right now, like through Zoom, that people can spend about 15 minutes just to find out more about the program, what's involved, how much time it takes, do you need experience, all of the things that people are asking themselves they're interested in doing, but can they do it? So that's time. We also have volunteers that we need that even if you don't want to take a child and be a guardian ad litem for a child, as a foundation, we have a lot of fun activities and awareness events and fundraisers that we can use warm bodies to be able to help with administrative tasks or just being there at the event to help with things like that. We are currently in the need of board members to be able to do that. We are a volunteer board, so everything that we do is volunteers ourselves to be able to raise awareness. And so
you
time, talent, and then
you have a very distinguished board too. I was looking at your board members.
Very proud of the members who are so busy on their daily life. Like, I don't know if we could have like a trophy on who's the busiest, because we would all have it, but they really take time out of their week. We have board meetings once a month, and they're, to raise awareness and sponsorships, and they're really dedicated to these children and so passionate about it. It's really some of the most rewarding work that doesn't feel like work that I've ever done. And to be part of it is such a privilege and honor to be working alongside of them. But we do need some more people involved with that. And there's also just raising awareness. So we have a lot of events and fundraisers that people can spread the word, because I think the most difficult thing, there's no difficulty in finding people who love children and want to affect the children in their own community. Everybody, I think, really wants to help with that. That's not a hard sell. But getting people the information about what can you do. Like if you're watching the news and you see, these stories about severe neglect and abuse, and for me, it just hurts my heart. I don't want to ruin my street cred, but it makes me cry a lot. I sit in the back during dependency court hearings because you just hear all of these things that happen to these children, and it's just devastating to a person who cares about humanity and the future that these children are. And so I think that just raising awareness, and it can be small things from, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we have like pinwheels for prevention that are coming up to raise awareness to the cause and what people can do, big or small. And of course, money. Money is always the thing because, of course, it takes funds to be able to raise awareness, to be able to train the volunteers, to recruit the volunteers. It's a business, and our business is helping children have a really wonderful childhood despite their circumstances. And so money is always, of course, appreciated to be able to help do that.
Absolutely. And the caseworkers or guardians themselves, you said that you don't have to be an attorney to do it. You teach that. But there are some requirements for a guardian.
Right. So you have to be able to pass a level 2 background because we don't want people who could possibly harm children to be working closely with children, because it is a trust relationship. But other than that, you have to have time, you have to be able to pass the background check, and a willingness to, take the responsibility of reporting to the court. Some cases are fairly simple, that there's not a lot of issues that are going on. The parents do their plan, accept the services that are offered, and the children are in and out of the system really quickly. But there's some that are severe neglect, and a guardian litem can choose how many cases they want, what type of cases they want. Sometimes it's difficult to handle emotionally some of the abuse and the photographs and things that you see, and not everybody is equipped to deal with that. So they're able to choose basically what kinds of cases that they want or they don't want, or how much time they want to be involved in.
We've been talking today with Felicia Walker, an attorney at law and also the board chair for Guardian Ad Litem here in Jacksonville. If you would like to learn more, you can go to Guardian Ad Litem firstcoast.org for more information, also on how to donate and how to volunteer. Felicia, it's been a pleasure talking with you today.
Thank you so much.